Police say they responded to reports of a shooting in the neighborhood and found two people in a home arguing near Sunset Park. One person reportedly had a knife, and our Kristen Drummond is live now at the scene near Eastern and Sunset with new video that you will only see on 3. Kristen?
Well, Jim and Latoya, as you can see here behind me, the home right now is boarded up. No confirmation from Metro Police that the person the officer shot and killed was actually holding a knife. Now, we did obtain surveillance video from a neighbor that's showing us the moments leading up to one officer's arriving and before that deadly shooting. A person appears to walk with purpose toward a Wine River Drive home, captured by a neighbor's surveillance camera, recording not only their actions, but the sounds, including glass breaking, before the police arrive around 12:40 Tuesday morning. Surveillance shows the person wandering around the property for about 10 minutes, even appearing to grab a propane tank from the side of the house. It's unclear if that person is responsible for the outside damage, but the home's now boarded up and 2 car windshields shattered. The aftermath of police arriving and an officer firing their gun, killing a man.
Upon arrival, officers observed several cars with broken windows, as well as the window to a residence broken.
Metro Police say officers responded to reports of a shooting. They kicked in the house door after hearing screaming from inside the home. Police say 2 people were in an argument, with one holding a knife. While police ordered the person to drop the weapon, an officer fired their gun, hitting and killing a man, according to police. It remains unknown if the person who died was holding the knife, but I'm told by family he lived in the home. The other person was taken into custody.
My brother was a good guy, and he was like a father to me. I love him.
Family not wanting to speak on camera Tuesday, but were at the home appearing to remove items. One woman identified herself to me as the daughter of the man killed.
She was just outside crying, but I couldn't go up to her.
Now, neighbors question the moments leading up to the shooting and wait for details about why police killed their neighbor.
It's pretty wild. It's usually pretty quiet around here.
Now, this is the 13th police shooting for Metro this year. For perspective, there were a total of 10 last year.
George, thank you. Our Kristen Drummond is with the family of the man fatally shot in his own home.
She picks up the storyline from there near Eastern and Sunset, where this shooting happened.
Well, yes, Jim and Marie, I'm actually outside of the home where that 13th police shooting in Metro's jurisdiction happened this year. Family gathering here over the last hour to send a message to the community after they also saw that video. I am here with Diane Wright. Diane, thank you so much for joining us. You are Brandon's younger sister.
Yes.
After watching that, your reaction?
I am in pure shock and horror. I cannot believe that that was the last way I will be able to see my brother, and he went out horribly. There was a disservice done on his behalf. He was screaming, "Help me, help me," when the police officer shot him in the head, continued to shoot him as he's going down, stood over his body saying, "Stay down," as if he could go anywhere. It was very traumatic to watch.
Do you or the family know who the person is that broke into the house?
We do not know who the person was. It was an intruder. We don't know why this home was targeted in the way that it was. I don't have an answer for that. I do not know who that person was.
Right now, after watching that footage, what is your message to Metro at this time?
Training. Training needs to be instilled in these officers. Training. Training needs to be instilled in these officers. Officer Alexander Bookman took the life. Officer Alexander Bookman took the life of an innocent man that was calling for assistance. Bias really needs to be looked at within this department. Trainings need to be looked at within this department. Trainings need to be issued and education as well. This was ridiculous. This should not have happened.
I know this has been a very emotional time for the family because Brandon's 15-year-old daughter was in the home that night.
Yes, she was. And so we have an officer, Officer Bookman, who shoots and kills a man with his daughter not even, say, 10 feet away. At no point was Officer Bookman in any kind of threat from my brother. My brother was at least 6 to 7 feet away from him screaming for help. The response to help me was to be murdered and shot in the head by this officer.
Are you planning on taking any action against Metro at this time?
We want justice.
What does that look like for you?
The family is still discussing the next steps.
And for those who may not know Brandon, tell us a little bit about him. From my understanding, he was a realtor here in town.
He was a realtor. He was a family man. There's nothing he wouldn't do for his family. He loved his daughter. He loved his sister. Anytime I would come from out of town, I'd always come to Vegas. The trip wouldn't be complete without seeing him. He was a hard worker. He was driven. He was giving. There's nothing that he wouldn't have done for the people that he loves.
So tonight, the family questioning why the officer fired his gun while they noticed that struggle in the room. You're questioning it because your brother did not seem to attack the officer who fired.
My brother did not attack. It was not he did not seem. He did not attack the officer. He was trying to defend his life against a suspect with his hands on the wall. At no point was there any officer that was in any kind of danger. It was excessive, to say the least.
Well, we want to thank you, Diane, so much for speaking with us. Right now, the family does have a GoFundMe.
Las Vegas man shot and killed by police in his own home this week, now calling it murder.
The family says when he called police for help, officers shot him instead of the intruder.
Fox 5's Kim Passoff has gone through the police body camera video and heard from one outraged family member tonight. Kim?
Yeah, one officer shot and killed Brandon Durham early Tuesday morning. And today, police held a news conference to explain exactly what happened. After watching that news conference, Durham's family, including his 15-year-old daughter, who was in the home during the shooting, also held a news conference of their own.
My brother called 911 to get assistance with the home invasion.
My father always feared the police. Even with that fear, he asked me to call the police. And when I grabbed my phone and I handed it to him, that was the last time I saw my father alive.
This is what officers found when they arrived.
They said they made entry. We had to go in there.
After being told intruders had entered the home and hearing screaming inside, they went in.
Hey, kick it, kick it, kick it! Metro police! Metro police! Metro police! Metro police! Hey, drop the knife! Drop the knife!
We paused that video before Durham is shot. Metro says 6 rounds were fired.
Not only is he shot in the head, he's shot as he's falling. And then the man says to him, "Stay there," as if he can get up.
LVPD received a report of 2 subjects shooting into a residence.
At their news conference, Metro paused on this moment of the video, showing Durham and 31-year-old Alejandra Bordeaux struggling over a knife.
They have matter of seconds, if not split seconds, to make very challenging decisions.
Metro will now investigate the threat perception of the officer. What would a reasonable officer do in the same situation? Durham's sister believes there is no way to justify what happened, calling it this:
unlawful murder. He was screaming.